Today is January 26, 2016. My name is Edna Sussman. I'm a reference librarian here at the Half Hollow Hills Community Library. We are interviewing Friedel Grashoff, an Army veteran, as part of our Veterans Testimonial Project and in collaboration with the Library of Congress's Veterans History Project. Thank you so much, Fred, for your service and being willing to participate in our project.
You're very welcome.
Fred, where and when were you born?
I was born December 25, 1937 in Germany, Ottersberg, Germany.
Christmas Day.
Yes.
Wow. Who were your parents and what did they do?
My mother's name was Anna. My father's name was Alfred. I hardly knew my father because he went into Hitler's army. He had to go in Hitler's army. And he got sick in Russia and died in a hospital in 1944.
Wow. He was in which war?
In World War II.
World War II.
Right.
Wow. So he fought on the German side.
Yeah.
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 And who were your siblings?
My brother's name is Alfred, and my sister's name was, she used to,
Passed away.
Was Ingrid.
Ingrid. And did either of them serve in the military?
No.
Now, what were you doing before you entered the service?
Well, I emigrated into the United States in 1961.
Okay. You were living where before then?
Before then, in Germany. So I was drafted in the German army, served there for 1 year from 1957 to 58. When I worked in construction the rest of the time.
I see.
And then I made up my mind when my sister left. She left 1 year before I did.
For America?
From Germany to America. Then I made up my mind. I said, I'm going to go next. So 1 year later, I left.
So in what year was that?
I left in 1961.
61. Now, was your mother here then, or your brother?
No, only my sister.
Only your sister.
My mother came later. She came in July, and she stayed. I think she stayed 8 years. My mother and my brother, because then the Vietnam War was going on, and my brother didn't want to go to war, so he went back to Germany and stayed in Germany.
And they stayed in Germany.
They stayed in Germany.
So neither your brother nor your sister served at all in the military?
No.
Which branch of the military did you serve in?
In the Army.
Army? And you enlisted or were drafted?
I was drafted.
You were drafted?
Yeah, the second time around. You were here when I was drafted in Germany,
That was in 1960?
That was in 1961 when I was drafted, over here.
Now, you were drafted...
No, 63.
63.
I was drafted in 1963.
So that was actually peacetime, more or less.
Well, Vietnam was going on already. When I got discharged in 65, that's when they bombed Hanoi.
I see.
So, but the Vietnam was not in full swing yet, but...
Were there people they weren't being sent over yet, American servicemen?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
But, okay, so we'll get to where you were in a minute. What happened when you departed in 63, then you were drafted, you said, 63. When you departed for training camp and during your early days of training, where were you sent?
I was sent to Fort Dix,
New Jersey.
New Jersey, for my training. And then afterwards, they sent me to cook school. I became a cook.
Oh, how did that come about?
Well, because you didn't speak too good English then. Because when I came here, I couldn't speak a word of English at all.
I see.
So, in the German army, I was in the engineers. Afterwards, they sent me in the engineers over here too. But as a cook.
I see.
And I was sent to Rhine, Maine, because there was a transfer point there.
Did you say Maine? The state of Maine?
Rhine, Maine, Germany, in Frankfurt, Rhine,
I see.
Maine.
Sorry.
So there you had a mess hall that was run by the Air Force. but the army, because a lot of army people came,
Turnover.
turned over there, so they had staffed with Americans, with army personnel also. From there, I did all kind of things, except cook.
Oh.
Only when we went in maneuver,
Training.
in the field,
Yes.
with the mess hall wagon and stuff like that, we cooked. Otherwise, they had civilian cooks over there.
Oh, I see. In
We were
Germany.
in the army there.
U.S. Army.
In the U.S. Army, yes. So they had civilian cooks, and they did the cooking.
Oh.
You just sat there and drank and watched that. You didn't do nothing. On weekends, you went to the ballpark, made frankfurters and hamburgers, and for the people.
And this was during, where exactly were you located during this time?
Rhine-Main.
In Germany. So
In Germany,
they
yes.
sent you over there with the American Army as an
With the
American
Army,
soldier.
It was all American,
Yeah. You had become a citizen before then?
No,
No.
I wasn't here 5 years, 10 years or whatever.
But you
Take
still
5
got
years.
drafted.
Oh, yeah. You got drafted. It says on the papers, too.
Wow.
So I made citizen. Afterwards, I worked for the company over here in Lenox Hill Hospital. And when the boss wanted to retire, so I was kind of on a what to do. So
This was
I said
after you left the Army.
Then I wanted to go and work for the city. But when you want to work for the city, you had to be citizen. So I wasn't citizen yet, but then I made my citizenship papers, and I stayed in the hospital for 38 years. So
What did you do in the hospital?
I was in the maintenance department,
I see.
like
Okay.
putting up walls, bathrooms, ceilings,
Uh-huh.
you name it, in the maintenance,
Wow. Now, do you recall your basic training in Fort Dix?
Fort Dix, yes.
How long were you there for the training? Do you remember?
Oh, we were there. I got on the 29th, I think. I got 29th of July until with the basic training and the advanced training, the cook school. That was all in Fort Dix.
Okay.
I got out just before December.
Oh, it was a long time.
Yes. So there's 8 weeks, I think, is basic training, and then the other time, But
You
then the
stayed in Fort Dix the whole time?
Oh, the whole time, yes. And then this gave us 2 weeks leave. So I went on my honeymoon then, because I got married in between there,
Oh, you did.
in 63, and we got married in October 63.
Where did your family live? Your mom wasn't over yet.
Oh, yeah, they
Or
were
she
here.
was.
They came in July then.
Of 63.
And 61 already.
61.
61.
So where were they living?
They had a house in, I don't know if they lived there then already, on Hempstead Avenue in Queens Village.
Okay.
So they had a house there, and then afterwards they went back to Germany,
Yeah.
so
So you got married in October.
October. And then when I had our leave, we went to Niagara Falls, and we had our honeymoon. And on December 20th, in 1963, they put me at Brooklyn Navy Yard and put me on a ship, on the General Patch.
Oh, wow.
Shipped me to Germany over Christmas on the ocean.
And where did your wife stay?
We had an apartment here, so she
Where
in the Middle Village. No, not Middle Village, in Ridgewood.
Queens.
In Queens, yes. So, but then she came over I think it was in January or so. She came over to stay with me in Germany there.
Oh.
So we had an apartment over there. We lived in Essen.
Oh, yeah. Was that off base then?
Off base, yes. I didn't live on base. And then she stayed there until, I think, 60 in April, or she went back to, in 65 then,
She went back to where?
to America.
Okay.
But I had to stay until my time was up,
Right.
so then we lived over, no, we didn't live here yet. We still lived in Ridgewood.
Uh-huh. Did
So-
she have any family in Queens? Any?
Oh, yeah, my mother-in-law and
Nice.
my sister-in-law, they all,
Oh, that's good, yeah.
they lived we stayed with them for a while until we found an apartment, and
I see. Do you recall your instructors during basic training? What were they like?
not bad.
Oh.
They all in here in
Okay.
a book. So they, I had a Sergeant Atkin, and then there was a Sergeant Lewis there, and then, I forgot, but the names are in here,
Yeah.
so.
But they weren't terribly hard or mean?
No, because they knew that I had been in the army already, because
You were in the German army for how long?
for 1 year.
1
There
year.
was a draft over there, was 1 year. But
Oh.
in that 1 year, you learned more in that army than you did here in 2 years.
Really? Wow. So you received specialized training, like the cooking?
For cooking, and in the German army, you learned how to lay mines and blow up bridges and stuff like that. You did the
More technical.
engineering part. Here you did supply just the food for the guys who did the job.
But you were okay with that?
Yeah, well, there was no choice.
Yeah, no choice. How did you adapt to the military life and the food? But you ate at home most of the time. Well,
Then, yeah.
Then.
So, no, it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now, after Fort Dix, then you were sent to Germany and you stayed the rest of your service there.
Right on Rhine-Main, in the headquarters company of the 7th Engineers Brigade. So that stayed there until the end. And then I thought they're going to send me back by boat, but I was lucky, in a way, that I was stationed right on the airport. So they said, oh, he was right here, we send you by plane.
Nice.
So in the middle of the Atlantic, the captain of the airplane says we got to make an emergency landing, and we landed. One engine fell out, and we landed in Newfoundland. And then overnight they put on a new engine. Next day, back on a plane to New Jersey.
How long was the flight with a bad engine to get back to Newfoundland?
About 3 hours. We were about halfway across the Atlantic, so it takes about 7 hours.
Thank God he made it.
Oh, yeah. So that's not the first time it happened.
Really?
It happened afterwards one more time.
With you in the service?
Not in the service, afterwards.
Oh,
Our brother-in-law lived in New Mexico.
okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry we had a little battery misfunction, so go ahead with your trip to Mexico.
New Mexico.
New Mexico, sorry.
Yeah, my brother-in-law lives there, and on the way back, we boarded TWA in Albuquerque, and went up fine, everything fine. Then all of a sudden, over Texas, the captain says on the plane, he said, we got to make an emergency landing in the cockpit. A red light shows on that we have a fire in one engine. So we come down in Wichita, Kansas, next to the runway. You see all the ambulances,
Oh my
and fire trucks, and all that stuff. They said, that's it.
Wow.
No, it wasn't it. So we got off, nothing happened,
Oh my
But that's why I stay away. I don't like to fly.
I don't blame you. That was after you'd left the service already.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was afterwards.
So you served abroad in Germany.
Yeah.
What are your memories of that experience?
Well, like I said, you had too much time. I wasn't used too much time on your hands.
Really?
You played pool.
Really? Huh. Did you
was
have?
not really training no more then. It's like in the German army, you did this, you did that. Every day you did something, right? Here in the morning you fall out, and then count you that you're there. There was no bed checks. There was nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
But before your wife came over, you lived in barracks?
Yeah.
And they didn't monitor how you kept it neat, or
No.
you didn't have to? You had to learn in basic training. You learned shoot guns and things. Did you have to practice that?
That you did in basic training. Afterwards,
Nothing.
nothing no more. You had a rifle there, yeah, but you didn't do nothing no more then.
But if you were cooking, you.
Yeah, but we watched them cook.
Oh.
We didn't
The
cook.
civilian cooks.
Yeah, they had all the civilians doing the work.
I wonder what they expected you to do.
Watch the civilians that they don't steal
My
the
goodness.
place empty. I don't know.
Wow. So you were to work in the kitchen.
Yes, I was. In the morning sometimes you had to make breakfast. Like make potato pancakes or whatever. The pancakes, and you had eggs and that in the morning you had to do it there.
Okay.
So you don't have to make no big dinner or anything like that.
The
There was
civilian
always
cooks did that?
plenty to eat there. In the mess halls.
It was good?
Yeah,
Food was good?
food was very good.
So did you go out sightseeing, or what else did you do to occupy the time?
Well, I went home, where I lived in Germany before. I went over there, and then we have a house there. And so,
Your family?
yeah, the family, we rented it out that time. But upstairs, I was still ours,
I see.
Or downstairs is ours, too. My brother lives there today.
Oh. What
So-
city is that again?
That is Emsen.
Ah.
That's where I went to school. And today there's no more school. You go to a next town, a bigger town, Now I never felt bad that I was drafted. It did a lot of good for me.
Why is that?
Because I got the nice job. I got the citizenship papers. That was they didn't even ask you questions, but because you served already.
So it went quicker, you think, the citizenship?
Yeah, they didn't give you no hard time. And I had to have two witnesses to take with me. I think my wife and my sister-in-law, they went, and so.
Testified for you, or as a witness or something, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So no.
How were your comrades in your unit? Did you keep in touch with them afterwards?
Yeah.
Really?
There's one guy lives over here in Bethpage.
Oh.
His name is Gilbert Lane. So we were with four. There were 4 cooks in that unit. So we slept with 4 people in one room there. So one came, I think, from Buffalo,
Really?
and one came from, I think, Tennessee. 2 black kids and 2 white guys. So.
That was before your wife came over.
Yeah, and then afterwards, when my wife left, I moved back in there.
They let you do that.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So there weren't any front lines at the time. Did anyone ever get injured when on base, or anything happen?
No.
How were your friendships while you were in the service? Was it mainly with those 3 other guys in your
No, I
unit, or?
knew another guy. They had an enlisted man's club. You go there, and then they showed all kind of. They had entertainment from here. I forgot who was there one time. One of the country stars or whatever. And it was nice there.
So it was an American base. Was it large?
Yeah,
how many?
Sure. There was the Air Force on there, and the Army was on there, and then the transfers were on there. You had your motor pools there, and you had everything there.
Why did you think they would send you back on a ship? You were in the Army, not the Navy.
Yeah, but that time there was, with the airplanes, most of the time they sent you back by ship.
Why?
It's cheaper for them, I guess, because the airplanes are filled up with officers. You're not an officer yet.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Well, you were lucky to get on the plane, I guess.
Yeah, that's why That's what would have been nice, you know.
Yeah.
We're going down in McGuire Air Force Base in Fort Dix here, you know.
Oh, okay.
But I had to make a stop in between.
How did you stay in touch with your family and friends when you were stationed over there?
Writing a letter.
Letters?
Letters. You know, there was no phone or
No telephone.
computers and
No,
cell
that I know.
phones and
Yeah.
no, there was nothing like that.
Huh. And did it take a while for the mail to get back and forth?
Yeah, but then, you know, it was no problem. I don't
problem.
know. You didn't see it as a problem. Now
Right.
today, you know, you write something, you know, it's
Takes too
there.
long. Yeah.
Not that time. You know, there was no other way.
Yeah, yeah. How was it when you returned home? How were you received by your family and community?
Everybody was glad I was back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How was the adjustment from military to civilian life?
very easy.
Really?
Yeah. No, it was very easy.
Did you go back, you and your wife went back, and you
She-
had a place already? She had been back.
Yeah, she worked for Equitable
Insurance?
insurance company in New York.
Okay, and so you then...
She was on a subway then when the blackout came. You know, she came home from work. She was on the subway and got over in Bedford Avenue someplace. You know.
And you didn't have a job when you came back yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
because of my boss got me 3 months earlier out. You know,
Oh.
the boss where I worked for
before the service.
before the service.
Where was that again? Where did you work, in the hospital?
Lenox Hill Hospital, but he was a contractor there then, my
Oh, I see.
boss, that boss. So, but when that boss retired, then the hospital took us over.
Oh, I see.
So that's when I started. That was in, I think it's 74, when the hospital took us over.
But
And I
you
worked-
worked there after 65, when you got out? You went
Yeah,
to...
I worked there before already.
Okay,
Before I went in the service, I
Right.
worked in Lenox Hill already for that boss.
uh-huh.
See, I worked in there when they shot Glenn into space. You
Oh,
know.
is that right?
And over there, they had an accident in the hospital. An elevator went through the roof on it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So they must have listened to
The astronauts' reports.
yeah,
So you did like maintenance and...
maintenance, yes.
Yeah, how long were you working there? How many years?
I retired in 1970.
Nice.
1990. No,
Ni-
2000.
2000.
2000,
So you were there
1970, yeah.
20-some
I
years.
started to work, I was working for the hospital itself 28 years.
Wow.
But before I worked there for 10 years, I've been a contractor in the same hospital, so 38 years.
Wow. Nice.
So,
Have you remained in contact with any of your veterans, fellow veterans?
no, not,
The fellow in,
no, not
No.
even, not no more,
No.
no.
are you a member of any veterans organizations?
I just up this year, you know,
The American Legion?
American Legion, yes.
What year did you get in there?
Well, I don't know.
Let's see. Does it say?
It's a while back.
Oh, it doesn't give a date.
Don't give a date, huh? No, I don't know.
That's okay. Yeah. So you're a member of the American Legion.
Right.
And when you left the service and then went back to work at the hospital, so you stayed, that's where you worked for the rest of your working career?
Yes. On work here on the house by myself, you know. and,
Uh-huh, on your house. Do you have any children?
Yes, three girls.
3 girls. And
Three
how,
girls. Linda was born in 66.
oh, right when you got out, a year after
1966.
you got out.
The twins were born in 72.
And do they live nearby?
Well, Linda lives in Deer Park. Karen lives in East Northport
No, both on Long Island.
on Long Island here, you know. But Kim lives in Rockville, Maryland.
Oh, yeah,
So now I know, remember that.
Rockville. What do you feel are some life lessons you might have learned from the military?
Well, it's not always you, it's somebody else, you know, it's not just me, you know. I like the military, you know, but I didn't want to
You didn't want to re-up?
re-up on enlist. I didn't like that, you
Why
know,
is
because
that?
it's too lazy for me. I can't stand that, you know, not doing nothing all day, you know.
At work, you were busy all the time.
All the time, you know. We traveled in at 4:30 in the morning. I got up here and then took the railroad into the city. Sometimes I got home at 8 o'clock at night when I was working overtime. On Saturdays, I drove in because then you could park there, you know.
You had to work the weekend, too.
Oh, yeah, overtime. Plenty.
Wow. I can't imagine being in the military 2 years and it being so slow. That must have been terribly boring.
Oh, it is boring, you know. That's why, you know, a lot of you do stupid things sometimes. Then, you know.
What, the other military guys? Like what?
Yeah, you drink and stuff like that, you know. But today I don't smoke and I don't drink no more. Nothing, you know.
Okay, good. Healthy.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I had to come to America, you know. I mean, in Germany it was pretty bad already, you know, because you knew too many people right away.
Oh,
Where you've been brought up, and if it's a small town from 800 people, you know everybody, right? So and then you go in a bar, you play cards, you drink, and you smoke. And when I came here, I didn't know anybody, right?
really?
So
Wow.
and I didn't speak the language. You know,
How soon after you got here did you get the job in the hospital?
I worked first for my uncle and then had a delicatessen, a luncheonette
Oh, really?
in Maspeth.
Queens.
I worked for them. They lived over here, right here by Pathmark. Where Pathmark, you know, used to be now. Pathmark is closed up, right?
Here on Long Island.
Here on Long Island. So I worked there from until October that year, in '61, October. And then I went to an employment agency, you know, because he sold, and then he sold to another guy, and I said, let me get out.
You mean the deli?
Yeah, deli there, yes. And then I got this job, you know, through the employment agency.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, they had them on, you know, on 86th Street there, you know, went there and looking for a job. So I got that job, and then there were German guys working there.
Oh,
So, and I've worked with them on the rest of my life. They've worked there until the end, too.
how did you learn English? When?
Well, through the movies and then about the newspapers.
Really?
And, you know, we went first to night school, and then the Army sent me to the GED. I got the GED in the Army.
Really?
So, you know, wasn't all that lazy in the Army.
Right, you had to work for school.
Yeah, you had to do, you know, because, see, in math and stuff like that, I had no problems, you know, and I'm good in that.
Well, how far did you get in school in Germany?
You went 8 years to school.
Yeah.
Until 14, right?
Okay.
After that, you started your trade. See, I learned bricklayer.
Oh.
And from bricklayer, you got to go for 3 years, and then you go 1 day a week, 1 afternoon a week. You go to school, you know, learn whatever has to be
As it relates
learned,
to
what has to do with the trade and stuff.
I see.
So that's what otherwise.
So the GED was your high school diploma from here?
Yes,
Yep.
the GED. I think that even on the papers it says here, I got my GED there, you know.
Did you, sometimes when you leave the service, they give you GI Bill, you can get more education. Did you take advantage of that at all? Was that offered to you?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, you know. But
Okay.
I was happy the way it was. So
Yeah.
You
had a job.
We had a job, and we bought a house in Franklin Square. We lived there for until '74, you know. And then we bought the land over here in the Sills, and then cleared the land, and then dug it out.
Wow.
Start the house from scratch.
So you're in the same house?
No.
No.
No, we sold that house.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm living here now for 11
Oh, in
years
the
already.
Greens
in
community.
The Greens,
Okay.
11 years.
How do you think your military service impacted your feelings about the military in general, or even about war, although you weren't during wartime, but still, Vietnam was starting?
I saw a lot of things happen here what I didn't like.
Like what?
People running to Canada when the United States was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, today it still bothers me, that, how come they run away and other people got to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today, that time there was still the draft, you had to go, right?
Right.
Then Kennedy changed that. I was in the, when Kennedy got shot, and
Yep.
I was in Fort Dix then.
Mm-hmm.
So that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a lot of rich kids, and so they went to Canada, hiding out there. Now today they're running back here, and they should stay in Canada. That's what I say. I have a hard feeling when it comes to that.
Yeah, I understand. What message would you like to leave for future generations who might watch this interview about military service or war or anything?
If you need it, go.
To the service.
Yes, don't hide and go run away and then come back. I don't think it's worth it.
You weren't afraid?
No.
Good.
No. I was, like I said, this is here because I served during the Vietnam conflict. Otherwise, I could not even join this.
Oh, the American Legion?
No, otherwise you cannot join that.
So it was considered peacetime, but not really.
No. The Vietnam War started in 50-something already, when they had the advisors there on this, on that.
Right.
And then when Johnson, after Kennedy got shot, Johnson took over then, and that's when it started.
Escalated, yeah. So actually you're considered a Vietnam vet?
I'm area. See, my name is in Huntington on the
Town hall?
on the Veterans Plaza there, engraved in granite.
Yeah.
There to stay. I paid $15, so I said, might as well put it on there.
Sure.
When they put the Vietnam Memorial, so you had to show them papers that you were at that time.
So your name is on the one in Washington too?
No, that's on the Washington. Is only if you died.
Oh, Vietnam only if you
The
died.
Vietnam War, people who died there,
Oh, I see.
they are in Washington. No.
Okay.
So
But you're considered during the Vietnam era.
yes.
How did they decide who went over? You were there before it actually escalated. Is that why you weren't sent over there?
When you were in basic training, they ask you where would you go when basic training is finished.
Oh, they asked where
They
you
asked
wanted
you
to go?
where you wanted to go.
Oh.
So I said I want to go to Japan or Korea.
Oh.
He said if you want to go to Japan, you gotta enlist. Not as a draftee. They wouldn't send you to Japan.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because maybe there was a better. So I said, no, I ain't going to enlist here, So then they sent me to Germany.
Huh.
They had no input whatsoever. Where in Germany or what?
Do you think because you spoke German that they...
Maybe they did. They sent me from there, from the company. I had plenty times go with my car, the company commander, to have it fixed. He had a Mercedes, right?
Oh,
So
when you were stationed there, you mean?
Well, while I was stationed there, that's what I didn't cook over there. Then they had troubles with people making phone calls or something. I had to go to the post office because I spoke German, right? To rat out on them. So.
Oh,
It was not all nice,
No.
but I didn't comply with all that stuff.
Were
either.
there, how many others were in your group that did speak German? Were there any?
Nobody.
Nobody, yeah.
No, that was only me.
You're probably pretty valuable to them.
Yeah.
When you,
Like I said, there was something wrong. I had to go find out.
wow. Oh, wow. Maybe that's why they kept you with the kitchen, so you were always available.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, I don't, like I said, I don't feel bad that I'm,
No.
I lost a lot of money, right? I mean, I could have made more money then. See, I became a specialist for, like a corporal and
Oh,
at
okay.
time,
You went in as what?
I was a private.
Oh,
So and I got a SP4, a specialist because we were a cook, in other words, it's a
oh,
cook.
I see.
So,
So it's like a promotional thing.
yeah, the payment, Yeah.
Is there anything you did that during your service that you regretted? Or
No.
wished it had turned out differently, or?
No.
Is there anything you might like to add that we haven't covered? You were there two years active?
Yes. Well, in the service I
Yes.
was just about, the 9 months. I got 3 months earlier because I was
yeah.
over there 12 months,
Yeah.
so.
Anything else you did or experienced over there that
No, didn't go to jail, nothing like that.
You were a good boy.
I was a good boy.
all right?
No. But
It was
they took,
it was a good experience in general.
yeah. And I got along with everybody,
Yeah,
I got
nice.
along with the first sergeant. He was a big colored guy, Sergeant Gambrell.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
He was your commanding officer?
no, the commanding officer in Germany, I don't know, it was Lieutenant somebody, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had colonels there, because it was a headquarters company, and it was all the big shots that were there, so.
Well, I'm glad it was generally a positive experience.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add that you remember?
There's a lot of things you remember, but just leave them.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much, Fred, for sharing and
No,
serving.
because it wasn't dull. The only thing that I say, in the German army, we didn't have that much time on our hands than in the American army.
Interesting, yeah.
Too much free time here,
All right, well, thank you so much. We really
Okay.
appreciate it.
No,